If you keep hearing the word no and you feel stuck and you're like, well, what am I supposed to do now? And you want to move past that. If you're in the startup phase of whatever kind of business you're doing and you keep hearing that word no and it's stopping you from moving forward, or you're just super frustrated, this is the video for you. Let's talk about how to turn that no into a yes. Hi, my name is Emily Brown. I'm a business coach and I help people to turn their current skill set into multiple streams of income. So I'm your ideas girl. Okay? Stick around for today's episode. Let's get started. All right. So how to turn the no into a yes. Everything that I'm about to share with you is something that I've actually lived. I didn't find this in a textbook anywhere. I didn't watch somebody else's YouTube video. I lived it. I tested it. I tried it out. I had the frustration. And I'm here to share with you what happened on the other side of that frustration. So this is real. Okay? Now let's dive into it. Step number one, the first thing you need to do to start turning those no's into yeses is you need to make sure that you're talking to the right person. Make sure you're talking to the right person that can connect you to the answer, connect you to the client or the right client. For example, who's your ideal avatar? Who is the person that you really, really want to serve with your product or your offer? Or it may not have been the person you wanted to serve, but it may just be that, oh, my product or my service is actually really good for Hannah over there. It's not that suited for James and his friends, or vice versa. You need to get an understanding of who exactly does your glove fit perfectly. That's the person you need to start talking to. Because if you start talking to somebody, for example, who has, I don't know, 4 fingers and your glove has enough room for 5 or just for 3 fingers, just an idea, you get the picture. It's not going to fit that person perfectly. Okay? And what you want to do is to be super efficient so that when you get to that point of exchanging the product, sharing the price, it's like, yes, I would love to have this thing. Yes, I would love to be a part of this experience, or I would love to subscribe to that thing, or I would love to participate in XYZ. The person has to be like elated, happy, enthused, totally on board to get in on whatever you're doing. It has to be the perfect fit. If it's not, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, no, no, or I don't get it, or that's already there, or somebody already does that for me, because they don't really understand exactly what it is that you're doing because they're not the one who needs it, right? So yeah, got a little passionate there, but I'm just trying to explain it properly. Make sure that you talk to the ideal client, the ideal person, the ideal connector or networker or whoever it is that you're trying to reach. Think about it properly. Do I need to serve, I don't know, Gen Alpha, Gen Z, this person, that person? Think about it exactly. Get very specific. Once you start talking to that person, those no's and those very deflated okays or whatever, cool, that's nice, all of that's going to turn into yeah, and that's what you want. Okay, so that's number one. Make sure you're talking to the exact person you want to serve, your ideal avatar, right? And if it's about the person that you just need to talk to help you to get into the right room, it's the same thing. And to help you to get to the right supplier, it's the same thing. Talk to somebody who already knows about that thing. Talk to somebody who's been there, done that, or who has traveled there, etc. Talk to the exact person that you need to get feedback from. That's the person that you're going to give all the information to, not the person who's kind of suited, because they're just going to tell you no. Okay, step number two. Make sure that you talk to, sorry, make sure that you present your offer or your product first with language that sets your product apart from all of the other things that are already out there. Make sure that you present your offer or your product first, meaning if the person says, oh, is it like X, Y, and Z? Don't say yes. Because it's not. Yours is better than X, Y, and Z. Yours is different. Yours is bigger. Yours is faster. It's stronger. It's smarter. It's not the same thing that's already out there. That's why you made yours in the first place, because it's different. That's why you bothered to make yours, and you made it the 2.0 version of whatever it is out there. You made it way better. So it's not just like that thing out there. No, it's not. It's so much better. And make sure you introduce your product or your service first. Don't give the person a chance to say, oh, is it like X, Y, and Z? No, don't do that. Introduce it first, and you're going to use language that differentiates it or sets it apart from whatever else is out there because it's different. You don't really get a lot of opportunities to introduce yourself once. You don't. The only way you get that multiple times is with different people in different places. One introduction and that's it. It's the same thing with your service, your product, your whatever. You get one opportunity, you get one shot to say, hi, my name is Emily. You get one shot to say, this is my product, or introducing XYZ. So make sure you do it first, and make sure you use the words that are going to set it apart from whatever else is out there. Okay? Then, when people start to realize, oh, it's something different. Wow. They're going to be more interested in seeing what's behind the veil. They're going to be like, wow, what else is there? Let me see this new thing. They want to sample it. Just like the things in the supermarket that they have on sample. They want to try something new. Everybody wants to try something new. So make sure that you give that product or that offer that chance to shine and shimmer as it is new. Give it a chance to shimmer and shine by using the right language and introducing that product first. Okay? Okay. So far, we've gone through 2 steps to turn that no into a yes. Step 1 was make sure that you talk to the exact person that you want to serve. And step 2, make sure that you introduce the product first and you use language that differentiates it from everything else that's out there. Number 3, make sure that the terms or the conditions under which your client has to use the product or the service really suits your client. So if you have a masterclass and it's for 5 days and it's at 1 o'clock every day, do you know how many people can't come to that? Do you know how many people can't come to that? Because they still work. Because most entrepreneurs are in the building phase because they say it takes like 10 years to be able to have a fully functional business with teams and all of that, where you, the entrepreneur who used to be the head cook and bottle washer for every single thing, you're no longer that thing because now you're making profits and you're able to hire people and your profits are thick enough that you can pay them properly. It takes some time depending on the industry that you're in, depending on if you had an investor to start or if you bootstrapped it, if you're in tech or if you're doing services or if whatever, everything kind of depends. So if you're not in one of those niche markets that things just explode overnight, it's likely that that entrepreneur or that person cannot attend that masterclass at 1 o'clock for 5 days in a row, unless they always take lunch at 1. It's very unlikely that they'll be able to do that. So the terms of interacting with your product, your masterclass, whatever it is, does not work for the client that you're trying to serve. So they might want to come to your masterclass, but they can't because they got work or they can't because whatever. You have to check to see, does this suit the person that I'm trying to serve? It can't just suit you. Because if it suits you, I mean, that's cute and everything, but you're not the one who's paying to participate or to buy your product. You are not funding yourself. Your customers fund you. And if you do not make it easy for the customer to interact with what you're selling, then they can't buy. Or they will feel like, wow, I just want to do this, but they won't be able to. So you need to consider, how am I going to make the terms under which my client has to interact with my product or service suitable or suited to their lifestyle, to their schedule, to their realities. So you have to get to know, okay, who is this client for real? Who are these people that want to come to my masterclass to learn what I'm teaching? What you're teaching is valuable, for sure. What you're teaching is definitely valuable. No question there. What you're offering, people definitely want to know how to do it. How do I know? Because there's some guy out there and he's teaching people how to jump higher. And people pay money to go to his class or to buy his course, and he's making thousands of US dollars on the internet with that. So if they want to go learn how to jump higher, I know they want to learn what you're teaching or what you're making available in your product or your service, whatever. I know. I just know it, girl. I just know it, guy. I just know it because it's a big world out there. So that's no question that they want to learn what you can teach. But what is going on in their specific situation? You need to figure out exactly, go back to your avatar again, go back to who's your ideal client, and you want to figure out, where are they right now? Where exactly are they right now in this particular moment? So that when I'm talking to that person, I can get their attention. There's something, I don't remember what it's called. It's something like skinning the cat or something like that. It is basically a roadmap that actors use while they're studying acting to figure out, how am I going to deliver this specific script based on where the character is right now in the plot of the story. Can't remember what it's called right now. I took a picture of it and everything. I just don't remember. But all along that little, winding road on the map, the character is at different points in the story, the conflict, the this, the that, whatever. You need to understand exactly where is your client along that road of life. Are they out of university? Do they never go to university? Do they feel frustrated right now? And do they want to quit their 9 to 5? And where are they at? Are they looking at selling digital products? Is this a woman who is tired of having to work 24/7, even though she has a cycle that causes her to, reset every 28 days instead of resetting every 24 hours like a man? But the work requirements require her to reset like a man. I mean, you need to think about, what's the real conflict that the person is having? What's in their way? What's the problem that they're having? And when you do that, then you can say, okay, does my product actually grab the attention of that ideal client of mine at the specific point that they're at right now in their life? If it does not, because they happen to be a woman who, she has a cycle, and she has 4 phases of that cycle, and what I'm offering requires her to function like a man, like maybe a workout program or a workout PDF that has straight strength training all month with no intervals of rest and no intervals for stretching. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's no room for her to successfully complete that program because her body doesn't function that way. It has periods where she It has periods. It does. It has sections in time where her body demands that she sit still and rest, or she's going to malfunction. So that specific product is not going to meet the person where they are, and it's not going to be suited to her operating in a healthy or positive way with that product, because it just doesn't match that client. It definitely matches a man. So then you'd have to change who you're talking to. You're going to have to change the branding. You're going to have to change the font, the colors, and the wording, everything, so that it will appeal to the customer who it is suited for. Okay? So you need to make sure that the terms of use that are required for interacting with your offer, with your product, blah, 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 are suited for that specific client. Because if it's not, they're just going to say no. If it's too often and they can only see you once a week, they're going to say no. If it's too, seldom and they need to see you 5 times a month and you're only offering only 1 hour of interaction or whatever the offer is, and they need more from you and they're not saying it and you don't know it and they just say no, that's why they're saying no. Because you don't really understand what it is that they need, and that's okay. But we want to get to the point where you fully understand what are the challenges that are keeping this person from saying yes. And in order to do that, you have to say things like, okay, tell me what works for you. So in order to do that, you need to find out what's working for your client, right? We're still on point number 3. Your client is a person. Please remember that. It's not just about getting money from your client. It's actually an exchange. You give a service, you give a solution, you offer something that solves a problem for them and makes their life easier, faster, more efficient, more fantastic. And then they naturally want to just say yes because it really spoke to where they are right now along that continuum of life and the point that they're at right now in this moment. So you need to talk to your client. You actually need to say things like, so tell me, since this is not what works for you right now, or just say, so tell me, how often would you like to meet? Or um, what time frame works for you? Or what time is a good time for you? Or how long were you hoping for the program to be? Or how short do you think this program needs to be so it suits you? Things like that. You need to have a very you focus when you're talking to your client, because if you're about me, or yourself rather, they're just going to be like, whatever. No. They're literally just going to be like, okay, fine, bye. Because you are not showing a genuine interest in your client. And that's why they're going to say no. Right? People want what they want for themselves. People have selfish tendencies, but we can look at it another way. People want to be served. If you don't serve people and you always require from them and take from them, they're going to feel like you just want money from them. They're going to feel like you just want, as I heard someone say, I'm just going to take these people's money. And they're going to pick that up. They're going to feel that way. They work hard for whatever it is they've earned, and they don't want to just part with it. They're not going to just give the money away if they feel like this person is just about themselves. No, you want your customer to feel happy, glad, relieved, elated that they worked with you, that they purchased from you, right? You want people to feel like this person gets me. Let me subscribe to their channel. Let me subscribe to their service. I'm going to tell my friends about this person because I had such a good experience with them. And the only way you can get that person to turn and say, I want to work with this person, yes, is when the terms of use of your product or your service suits your client. So we got to take off the selfish socks and the me, and you need to think about what does the client really need and what is it that I'm hoping to receive when I interact with my client, what am I hoping to also give, etc. And what changes do I need to make? What changes can I implement so that my client can interact with me, so that they can, take part and purchase, or, join your club, or do your survey, or whatever it is. It has to be suited to your client. So far, we've talked about three things. We need to make sure that number one, we're talking to our ideal client, or the exact person that you need to interact with to get to your desired endpoint. Number two, we need to make sure that we are the ones that present our offer first, and we use the right language that sets it apart from everything else out there in the marketplace. Number three, we need to make sure that the terms that our client have to work with in order to interact with us, our products, our services, really suits the client. It has to be about the client. Okay? Cool. So that was the first 3 points. The fourth point is you're going to be upbeat. Nobody wants to talk to somebody that says things like, all right, yeah, I'm good. Or, like the tone of voice. Your tone of voice has to be positive. It has to be hopeful. It has to be like, wow, I'm so glad I spoke to Emily today, because it just brightened my day just to hear her say, hey, how are you? What's up? You good? On the phone or in person, or a smile. Make eye contact. Whatever. Connect with your client genuinely. Hey, how are you doing? Even if you don't feel good, even if you don't feel 100, you have to be the one who shifts the dynamic in your life and in the person's life for those few seconds that you have a greeting. Hello, nobody wants to interact with a Debbie Downer. And I'm not telling you to be fake. I'm not telling you to pretend. I'm telling you to shift your focus. So stop focusing on the fact that you've been hearing no all day or no all week, or people aren't just grabbing the offer or the product that you worked so hard on for the past 7 months, and now people are just telling you no, or they're just not taking up the offer as quickly as I thought. Okay, it's not about you. And I'm saying that with all due respect and love. Once a woman said to me, sweetheart, it's just not about you. In a wonderfully sweet Southern accent, and it stuck with me. And I said to her, you know what? You're right. It's not about me. And I'm passing that on to you. The business, the service, the product, etc., that you're doing, working on, trying to distribute is not about you. Okay, so try not to take it personally. Don't be offended when people are not, up and running and trying to tear down the door for what you've been working so hard on. The word of God says it is wise for a man to overlook an offense. And trust me, honey, when you start overlooking those offenses on purpose, more are going to come. So just keep going. Just jump over them like hurdles, track and field event hurdles. Just go. Because they're going to keep coming, especially if you start to set your mind to overlook the offense and look on the bright side, be positive, practice the joy of the Lord, things like that, giving thanks, being intentional about actually making eye contact, smiling, saying, how are you doing? Have a great day, blessings, all that stuff. Even if the person was rude to you or had said something or did something that was just not okay, we want to make sure that we are setting the right tone. We need to come with the right attitude. You need to be upbeat. And I'm telling you, that person is going to remember you because you didn't tell them off and you did not react the way everybody else reacted. You were the one who did it differently. You happen to have done it God's way when you did it that way. And so they're going to go, wow, I can't believe she didn't or he didn't, lash out. If it was just for that alone, perfect. They remembered you. The best marketing ever. They remembered. They remembered you, and when they see your product somewhere and your name on it or your business's name on it, they're going to remember that moment. Okay? So remember to be upbeat. Be upbeat when you're interacting with people, and soon that no is going to turn into a yes. Okay. So we have a fifth thing. Item number 5 is to persevere. All right. You need to persevere with numbers 1, 2, and 3, and 4, right? That we've been hearing today. You have to keep on talking to the right person. Even if you feel horrible, if you feel like, I don't even know why I started this, what was I thinking? Yeah, get back to work, honey. Lock in. Keep calling, keep talking, keep showing up in person. Be consistent. Keep talking to the right person, that ideal avatar, or that right contact who's going to connect you to the right next step. Number 2, you're going to make sure that you keep presenting your offer first. You never let anybody guess and say, oh, is it just like that thing over there on the shelf? You are going to use language that sets your product apart all the time. Persevere. Okay, number 3, you're going to make sure that your terms are always suited to the client. So if you serve 2 or 3 people today, you're going to listen to what they have to say, and then you're going to implement those changes. Please do not just listen to what they said and be like, okay, great. And then you leave the product or the service exactly the way that it is because you're tired or because you forgot or you can't bother. No, make the changes. Because when you make those changes, those clients are going to see, wow, this is so much better. And once they realize, wow, you're actually paying attention, you're continuing with this product and improving it. Updates are being made, improvements, new feature releases, blah, blah, blah. They're going to be like, cool. And they're going to keep using it. Eventually, they're going to start referring you to other people. Only God knows when that's going to happen. But guess what? It's going to happen one day. And you're working for that moment, okay? The best referrals come from networks, network marketing, friends telling friends. So that's the best marketing, right? I learned that from another businessman. The best marketing is network marketing. So you need to make sure that you make the changes that your clients are requesting so that when they go to use your product, participate in your service, etc., it's really a perfect fit for them. It fits like a glove and you're like, yes, they're happy with this thing. And once they're happy, they're going to make recommendations and referrals to other people. And that's what you want. So you need to persevere. Keep on making the changes. Keep on improving. Put the customer service survey. Ask your customer, how was XYZ today? Scan, put like a barcode for them to scan in your business to say, how was your customer service today? How was your experience with us today? Let us know. Lots of businesses do it. And the ones that do it are the ones that turn into franchises. Those are the ones that grow and get bigger because the customer keeps coming back because you listen to them, because you're serving them and they feel served. So it all comes back down to responding to the customer, right? We can do that when we persevere in applying these last 3 tips. Make sure that you're talking to the right person. Make sure that you introduce that product and set it apart first before people get to label it as anything else. And make sure that those terms that they have to work with to use the product or service really suits the client. Now, we need to be upbeat in how we interact with the customer. We know that. Have to tell you a story about this. Once I called to change an appointment to get something done. And I said, hi, can I change my appointment to Thursday instead of Friday? Because, I had a change of schedule. And they were like, no, you can't, so and so. And I'm like, wow. They were pretty rude in the way that they said no. And I thought about it while they were being rude. I was like, because they're kind of going on and on. I said, should I even respond and say, how can you talk to your customer that way? Or should I just move on? Well, I did what Proverbs said. It is wise for a man to overlook an offense. And I just said, okay, thank you. And then she said, okay, great. Like, okay, real happy like. And then I quietly hung up the phone and she hung up the phone, of course. Did I go back there? No. Okay. So that her response was not upbeat at all. Remember, she was super rude and shouting on the phone, telling me when I could and could not change the appointment time. So be upbeat, okay? We're going to lose that customer. Back to point number 5 about persevering. Yeah, she should have persevered. She had a moment where she just stopped being upbeat and she stopped making the terms of use for me to use her service suited to me. So when you drop the perseverance ball, you lose clients. And you might say, hey, how is that supposed to work? I'm a human too. Sure you are. Get a system. Get somebody to run the system for you or use AI to automate the system, whatever. Just organize it so that things can work well, even if people are not feeling well that day, because people are people. And stuff happens, right? But at the end of the day, we're responsible for how we behave and there are consequences for those things. So you want to make sure that as best as possible, things can go well. All right. So we need to put systems in place wherever necessary so we can persevere in responding appropriately, adjusting to the customer's needs so that they can stop saying no and start saying yes to whatever you're offering. All right. Step number 6. Now, this is after you've done steps number 1 to 5, steps numbers 1 to 5. This is after all of that. Once you've practiced numbers 1 to 5 and you got it down, this is now the norm in your brain. This is the norm for the first person, the third, and the fifth person that you've hired. They treat the customer appropriately. They check the survey to see what is the customer requesting. How do we need to adjust our service or tweak our product? This step number 6 is after all of that stuff becomes like the norm. Rinse and repeat. That's step number 6. Once you rinse and repeat, meaning you've gone over steps number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the rinse. Once we've gone over this, do it again. Once we know it works, once we know we've made the adjustments, you're collecting the data from the client's feedback and applying it, and you see the positive changes and you're like, yes, and they're like, yes, and everybody's saying yes, and you're like, this is the formula, this is what works, keep going. But you also have to rinse and repeat numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 to make sure that it's actually working still. That the customer actually feels like, yeah, this business, this service, these people appreciate me. They really respect my time. They respect my business, whatever that I'm providing for their bottom line. I'm not just another number because they actually listen. When I punch in my feedback into the survey, I see that they've changed things. Now, I saw this from someone last week. She said, oh, when I come in here, once I came in here and I had to speak very frankly to management about what they were doing and how they had laid out the chairs in the store for customers to come and sit on, and why is it so close to the front desk, and that's not good for the customer, that's not good for the employees. They're not considering the people who are working here or shopping here. Once I made all that noise, she said, they changed it And I know for a fact that a lot of people were dissatisfied at that place. A lot of people were walking out, grunting, exhaling, growling, saying, why is this taking so long? Months later, I go into this place expecting the bad service and I see that it has changed. And I'm like, whoa, thank God. Relief. Now I don't have to find a new place because somebody was brave enough to confront the right person. She did what number one says to do, talk to the right person. She spoke to management and tell them exactly what the problem was. Okay. So she told the manager about the terms of use for that business. It wasn't suiting the customer or the employees. And lots of people were upset about it. Lots of people were annoyed with it. So they made the changes and it has made a big difference. Do they have more improvements to make? Yes. But have they made good strides? Yes. So they have the ability to get more yeses instead of more strings of no's that they were getting for a period of time. So let's do a quick recap. How to turn a no into a yes. This is what you need to do. Number one, make sure that you're talking to the right person, your ideal client, that avatar that you sketched out the first time, the right person who is going to make things happen if you need help somewhere. This is how you're going to get a no turned into a yes. Okay? Number two, make sure that you present your offer or your product first with the right language that's going to differentiate that product, set it apart from all of the other products out there in the marketplace. Your hair product is not the same thing as all the stuff on the shelf. I mean, that's exactly why you made it, because something was missing out there. And that's why you made that beard oil. That's why you made that moisturizer. That's why you went ahead and did that pudding for your hair, because it just wasn't there. So don't you dare say stuff like, "Oh yeah, it's just like that one in the clear jar." No. You're going to introduce it as it is. It's unique, it's fresh, it's brand new. Use the right language to set it apart and you talk about it first. Don't let them say, "Oh, is it just like that one?" No. Number three, you're going to make sure that the terms of use for the product, the service, are suited to exactly where your client is right now. Are they trying to save money? Do they not care about money and they're just able to spend and spend and spend? Where are they in that, along that journey of life? You need to understand where they are so that you can adjust the terms for them to use it. And if you're not so sure where they are, have a conversation with them. Don't just take, "Oh, no, I can't do that. I'm busy. I can only check in with you, or I can only check out this part and not that part." Then you need to start saying things like, "Oh, tell me more about what's an ideal schedule or what works for you," and just change it to match what they said, even if it's not what you had in mind. Just change it so that they feel more free and able to say yes. Number four, you need to be upbeat. Be pleasant, be polite, be kind, be happy to talk to the person. And if you're not really feeling that way right now, take a break. Maybe today is just not the day or the moment to interact with that person. Or go take 5 minutes, take a break, go talk to God, pray, wash your face, overlook the offense, give thanks to God for something, focus on the good things he's given you, and bring the right upbeat energy to the conversation. Okay? Nobody wants to interact with a Debbie Downer. Number five, persevere. Keep going with numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay? Keep going. Keep making your adjustments. Keep shifting. Keep fixing. Keep editing. Listen to the customer. Talk to the right type of customer, the exact person you want to serve. Don't talk to her cousin. Talk to the person, the girl, the main man. Talk to that person so that when you have those interactions, the feedback is really valuable and it counts. Okay, and it's not just random stuff that isn't applicable to you. And then once we do that now, once we do all of that, we need to rinse and repeat and do it again. Keep going. Keep making adjustments and when we do this, we allow the customers to keep saying yes because it actually suits them and they're happy to participate. I hope this conversation today was a blessing to you, helpful, encouraging to you. If it was, drop a comment down below, like and subscribe because there's going to be more information coming, real stuff, real challenges, and real things that I learned. And I'm sharing them with you. I'm passing them on to you so you don't have to struggle. All you have to do is log on, click, and follow the steps. Okay? So that's your wisdom for today. Adios.